Good morning, or good night, or good evening, depending on whenever you've pressed play on this. But hey, we got a review for you because this is Disc Review and we review discographies. That's actually what the disc stands for. I don't know if anyone knows that but us.
But we don't have any discs. There's no physical discs. I used to own discs until all of them were stolen. And I never bought a disc again. And it's really sad.
I forgot about that, dude. Someone broke into your car and stole all your CDs.
Like 40, 50 CDs. Hundreds of dollars worth of CDs. I had a collection. They scouted me out, though. So they knew what they were taking. I can't imagine it went for very much, though. A collection of CDs without the case. Because it was in like a big case.
One of those folder things. I also had a collection of CDs in high school, and then I bought a newer, updated version of the car I already had, and it didn't have a CD player anymore. And so instantly, my beloved collection was absolutely worthless to me.
You know, I think it's kind of funny because I don't think it really matters that I don't have the disc, because I just like the artwork and but I just feel like a fake collector or whatever because I don't have the disc, even though I don't actually need the disc to listen to the music. Like I don't even think I'd put the disc in if I had it. It's just like, and I have all the cases. I just think it's funny that I feel like my collection is failed now, but I still have the cases. Plenty of old stuff. Pierce the Veil, all the Pierce the Veil stuff, like we talked about.
Dude, your poor One Direction collection.
Oh yeah, I grabbed everything.
Stratosphere now.
I grabbed we're going to talk about One Direction now that you've just brought it up. So that's what you've done to yourself. Now we're going to talk about a 1D album. Listen, we're talking about Hotel Apache. This is a kind of my claim to fame for indie band discovery, I guess. Last episode, I thought we were doing the two EPs combined. So if I left anyone hanging, this is the record that I was talking about. This is an EP, 5-song EP from Hotel Apache. They are kind of small. 80,000 monthly listeners. How small do you feel that is?
That's really small. That's like slightly bigger than local band. Small.
Really?
Yeah. Because I know local bands with similar counts.
Found these guys through Spotify. You know when like it just puts on a random song similar to what you're listening to?
Uh-huh.
It just one of their songs came on. Unfortunately, it's not one on the EP, but I think it's their best song. Came on, and I was just blown away by the level of the production and the melodies and just the style. I think is really interesting and unique and done really well. Anyways, that song is Dial Tone. If you like Hotel Apache, please support them. I'm a big fan, and I hope they are able to keep making music. They're kind of not as steady, and I don't know if they'll even make any more music. It's been maybe like a year, but they've come back from over a year, so I'm kind of holding out hope here. This is their 2017 EP, so kind of on the earlier side of their discography. Basically everything else from then on is just singles. This is their only little longer format record here, and I'm just a big fan. I think this is a good showcase of their style. I think some of my songs that I think are even better or maybe come a little later. There's some songs I just think are insanely good, some of their later singles, but here is just a great way to like introduce their style, and hopefully anyone listening checks them out and likes them. This is I'll explain later. What did you think going into this record here?
Well, first of all, I am blown away that Spotify recommended an artist to you with that low of.
I mean, maybe they had more back then.
Listeners.
That 2018 is when I have to say I discovered them. So it's been years, and I don't know what they were at the time. I think it was from the 1975. So
yeah.
I mean, listen, if the algorithm treats you right, you're gonna get a ton of success. I would never have found these guys without Spotify recommendation. The only other way I've found smaller artists that I like, is through live shows. One of my favorite artists, maybe my favorite, Say We Can Fly, we're going to talk about them next week, is I found live. But these guys and some other bands kind of in this scene If anyone listening likes this band, I have a ton of bands from this scene that are of similar numbers and like how small they are that I also kind of got recommended through them. It was kind of like the first time I've had like this music discovery experience through Spotify, because I feel like nowadays it's really hard to find new stuff. But man, back in 2018, I was finding new great small bands all the time. So appreciate them recommending this. And if you're getting recommended off the 1975, I mean, you're gonna get so many new listeners. That's a great thing to have happen to your band, to be honest.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, I think that the Spotify algorithm has clamped down a little bit more in recent years, but that's still
It's still a thing.
That is a hopeful tale right there. I am blown away and very pleasantly surprised to hear that. But as far as like my impressions off of my first listen, yeah, I got big 1975 vibes, big Lany vibes too, and I could see why you like this band. Based off of what I know about other bands that you like. It made a lot of sense to me. And it also, it was good vibes all around. That's all I'm going to say to start off. Like, there was nothing in there that... It all was just, like, really chill, really fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is like... I mean, they don't have that much music, so I'm not going to be like, oh, they have the deepest stuff and you got to get really into... It's like, this is just super fun, good music to me. Like, this is pop. This is, I mean, I kind of feel like these guys are so good at this, like, 80s synth pop kind of resurgence vibes. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just really good at that, and that's, like, absolutely what this is.
It's so hot right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's been hot for a while, and I've just always been kind of enamored by that, and, yeah, I mean, this is fun music to listen to. Like, that is definitely, like, what I'd recommend it on the basis of, if you're, like, listening for some fun vibes and just some unique, like, sound. That's what they're here for. The first track is Stay, which is like, to me, they're like big, like if I had to pick one to be like the single of it, this is it. This is the big pop song, and probably the catchiest on the record, probably the best on this EP. And I'm in love. I just love the guitar work here, and just some really catchy melodies. And I just really like this singer. I don't even know his name. There's not really much information about them, to be honest. Their bio just says California pop is not dead. Well, so that's all I know.
There you have it.
So I don't know his name. I just think he's really, really good. Good singer. And yeah, this is just a great, like, if you want to try out this band, this is the one, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of my notes here actually have to do with the vocalist. But immediately, once I pressed play, my first thought was, this sounds so much like Lany instrumentals. Mm-hmm. It was that same energetic, synthy pop style that's so popular right now. The vocalist is what surprised me, though, was, by how talented he was. And his style reminded me a lot of... This is going to be kind of a weird comparison, but his style reminded me a lot of Johnny Craig. That like soulful pop sound, but made a little brighter and less emo sounding.
Yeah, it's kind of a high pitched but soulful for sure.
Right, yeah. I thought that the melody in the chorus was really strong, especially the part where he says, "And I said I'm sorry." That was really great. I also enjoy the mature theme of like breaking up with someone but still being able to be there for them in a platonic way.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of their lyrics are pretty cryptic, for sure. Like, not all of them are like, oh, I know exactly what this is talking about. So, and I just kind of have fun with it in that regard. I'm not too worried about that, and I think it kind of like adds to a lot of the mystery of the band for me. Like I said, I don't really know anything about them, and add on top that most of the time, I don't even really know what they're talking about, and yet I don't care. I'm just having fun. So that is kind of my about it. But yeah, like you said, like their melody writing is really good. And when you said like you liked you liked the part where you said
and I said I'm sorry.
Yeah, like they do he's really good at like speeding up and then slowing down on the melody, and it's really interesting. He'll say something really fast and then do a long drawn out note or something. I just think that's really cool. But yeah, track number 2 is Head versus Heart, which slows down a bit. I think this one has more like pretty clear lyrics and just kind of paints more of a story here. And this is kind of like the feel song for me. But I think what kind of is impressive to me about this one and the whole record is just the synths and the production. It's just so good. And there's just some interesting choices they make. Production wise, this one has an outro with a deep voice, and I'm always on board for that. I think it's always really a cool thing to do. And they mix up where the synth works. It's got like a beating synth while he's doing that deep voice part, and the outro is just killer for me on this one.
Yeah, this one, I thought it was kind of funny that it starts off with that like phone ringing.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's becoming a little bit of an overplayed trope of like sad or emotional love songs. This one didn't go as far as like some songs do with the whole like leaving a voicemail thing, which like Bo Burnham kind of made fun of
Yeah.
in his song 5 Years on the Inside Outtakes.
Yeah, give them credit. This record's from 2017. When did this trope even come up?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think the trope's been out for a while, but it's just like everyone.
I'm not saying
does
they
it now.
invented it.
It's a lot more.
Yeah.
It's huge now. Everyone adds the little phone call thing. But like I said, like this didn't do it to the extent where I was like eye rolling. It wasn't bad. Once the song kicks off, you know, we got drums that are kind of soaked in reverb with a lot of falsetto singing. Makes a really low-key chill vibe. So
yeah, it's
I thought that was great.
Yeah, this is kind of, and some of this music is to me just like atmospheric music. Like this is the kind of thing you throw on when sometimes you don't really want to pay all that much attention. You just want to vibe. Like that's what I use this EP a lot for, and like it just means that I listen to it a lot because it's great for that. And a lot of my favorite records are great at that. Just being a great place to like be in the music, you know, and just feel.
Yeah, it's really good road trip vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. I spent a lot of time listening to this EP, like walking around college campus, because I just kind of want something to vibe to and not, you know, be that all in my head about it and pay attention to what's around me, but kind of feel like I'm in a good place. But yeah, I like the vibes on this one for sure. It's definitely my opinion of that one. But
yeah, sometimes more is less, I think.
Yeah.
Like you don't always have to get super deep into meaning and emotions when it comes to music. Like you can just let songs make you feel good. That's something that I think is probably overlooked by people like us who really like diving into music. I think that we're more likely to overlook that. Whereas like people who are more casual with music are probably that way with everything. It's like, I have no idea what this song's about. I just like the way it makes me feel. That's definitely how this EP comes across. Is it's great for just feeling something nice.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't really pay that much attention to the words. And you know what? I used to be kind of like elitist about like how much I went into deep dives of the lyrics of the artists I like. But you know what? Nowadays, I'm more interested in a unique atmosphere and like feeling that you can't get anywhere else. To me, that's better than clever lyrics, to be honest. Like it's
and clever lyrics can add to that. But
yes, absolutely.
Lyrics aren't everything. You know, you need a combination of a lot of clever things, including, you know, the way the atmosphere is built up.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like a lot of my favorite artists, and Hotel Apache included, like just a sound I can't get anywhere else, and that is like what has kept them around for me. But yeah, I mean, track number 3 is 1985, right on theme with the 80s pop here. This one's another more, you know, upbeat pop song for me. I think the line "we've been talking on a cell phone at night" is iconic and really catchy. And kind of one thing I kind of forgot about this song was just that it's got a really cool, like, more spoken word section. I don't know if it's exactly that, but it definitely, like, it's more like he's just talking with a little bit of flow, and it just sounds really cool.
1985 is also the name of a song off of Bo Burnham's Inside
Oh
Outtakes. When are
my.
we going to? The
Oh
references
my.
are compounding. We need
Keep
to
keep
go
them
over.
guessing. Keep them guessing when it's coming.
But anyways, this song is the first song in the EP that has more of a positive outlook on relationships, whereas the other two were a little more moody and well, not moody. The first one is definitely upbeat,
Yeah.
for sure. But the lyrical content is a little more negative, whereas this one hits you with very positive lyrics. It's more upbeat with the instrumental. It also covers topics about feeling like, the need to change yourself for another person, but really being what they need exactly how you are already.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's meant by the title. I know the line where it says, "The way you move is so free, I'm feeling like it's 1985." I don't know if that went over my head or if it's like obvious. Do you know what that means?
Uh, yeah, I don't know why 1985 in particular. I don't know, just kind of like, I don't know. I'm assuming just, people, hippies feeling free in the, I don't know if they're
Mm-hmm.
still around in the 80s, which is why I
Yeah,
was
that's
questioning that.
kind of
But
what I
that's
was
kind of the
thinking,
vibe
but
I felt like I was getting. But I don't know, maybe we're
yeah.
completely wrong. To be honest, I haven't thought about it until you literally just mentioned it. Like I said, I've
Well,
never
we don't
really
need to
done
think about it. No more thinking.
I haven't really done a deep dive into the lyrics. But yeah, I mean, to me, this song reminds me of like being young and in love and just like talking on it. Like, I mean, nowadays it's texting, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe, like you said, 1985 it's gonna be calling on the phone and just talking all
Oh,
night.
yeah. I
That
guess
just
that
kind of
does make.
the vibe I was feeling, I guess. But
Okay, now what I'm piecing in my head is that he feels like it's 1985 because they're talking on the phone so
okay,
much
I'm I'm
instead of
I'm okay with
texting.
that. I'm
Yeah, I think that might be a decent way to interpret it.
yeah. But yeah, this is a fun song for me. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of catchy and upbeat in the same way Stay is. I kind of like link those songs together for me. They're pretty similar in style, but I
Yeah,
mean,
they
this
are.
is kind of just a showcase of like what their style is, and I think it's good at that. Just kind of like doing some examples of just some really solid like what they're good at, and so I'm fine with them being kind of similar, but they do some interesting things. Like I said, there's some changes in there, and I just really like the production on this entire EP. I think it's really good, and especially for a smaller indie band, the production's insane. I haven't really looked at like if they had a producer or self-produced or what. It has no credits, just performed by Hotel Apache, no writing and no production credits. So I'm inclined to say
That
they
makes me think
self-produced,
it's
right?
self-produced.
Which is insane. This is really good. You have to know a lot about making music to make it sound this good, in my opinion. And they do
Oh
some
yeah.
really
I
cool,
mean,
interesting stuff.
unless they recorded with some dude who
Mm-hmm.
is like has no cred and like
Yeah,
didn't want to put his name on it. I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, that does kind of give me self-produced vibes.
Yeah, but kind of impressive though, to be honest, if it's self-produced. But yeah, I'm track number 4. Then we can move on is Dare Me, which is kind of like to me a mix between that like upbeat pop and then the slower stuff and Head versus Heart.
Yeah.
This one's definitely got the lowest stream count on the EP, but maybe it's not quite as catchy, I guess, as the other ones, because the other ones are really really catchy. So I'm wondering if that's just probably all there is to it. But I think this one's kind of underrated. I really like this one. It's just got some great melodies, and they always nail their outros. That's just, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm always impressed by bands that kind of go above and beyond with like every part of the song, like we talked about last time with Black Bear. Like he doesn't skimp on the verses, and I don't feel like here they're really phoning anything in.
Yeah, I thought the best thing about this song was the way it was structured. I think that when bands go really into making different pieces that all work together, it's like if you want to make a good song, put as much effort as you can into it. And if you want to make an outstanding song, put that same amount of effort plus 5%. And I think that's kind of what happened here is, I mean, a part that I'm talking about in specifically is when in the second verse, halfway through, the drums cut out completely, leaving the song so bare and somber, just to kick in a few measures later with a really loud, large sounding snare. I think that stuff like that, like, it breaks up the verse chorus
Yeah.
structure. It makes it so much more interesting. And even though, like, to be honest, this song was a little less interesting to me as far as like sound and melodies, but like the structure I thought was really smart.
Yeah,
I did think that it has another one of those like opening cliches where it's like the rainfall at the beginning of the track. I can forgive it because it contains lyrics that talk about singing in the rain. What makes a lot less sense is when bands are like, "Oh, we have a sad song.
yeah,
We need rain in the background." Like, how many millions of songs have that? There's a lot of songs. But you know, it's like I said, it's contextual here.
yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad you talked about structure because it's kind of a problem I've never really noticed with this band. I've never felt like, oh, it's like we're obliged to go into this section here, and yet it's not like their structure is that insanely different from a normal pop song. But yeah, they just do things to break it up, like you said. They just some really interesting variety. Probably honestly my favorite part of the song is just like that bridge where it kind of cuts everything away and it's just some kind of fun synths, some kind of stuff that sounds like pitched up vocals and stuff, kind of doing some interesting things, and it's kind of like another space, even on a little more upbeat song, just to vibe out to the really cool sounds that they're able to make. Was just another example of them putting that care into the atmosphere and the feeling.
Yeah, I feel like that care, honestly, like when you self-produce, and we're just speculating that this is self-produced, but you can really put a lot of care into something when you're not focused on how many more hours you have left in the studio. Like,
Yeah.
when you're like, man, we only have enough money to pay for 5 more hours, we're just trying to cram in getting this song done. Like, you can't really put on those details that you can put on when you do it at home and you've been working on this song for 6 months,
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the advantage, I think, of self-produced. And yeah, but track number 5 is Maybe One Day, a slower closer, very vibey. I'd say this might be the vibiest. It's
the vibiest.
but yeah, I mean, this is just got a really high stream count for a more vibey song. It's got just as much as the big pop ones. So I just kind of thought that was interesting.
That's pretty incredible, actually. Yeah, I love the ambient background sound in this one. It sets the tone so well. It adds a very strong feeling to the song. And I think that the singer gets to showcase a variety of strengths throughout the EP, but this song shows off his really impressive range and run ability.
Yeah.
Like, when he does some of those vocal runs, they're like, I couldn't do those. And I think that I love when an artist does something like that where I'm like, dang, that must have taken a lot of years of learning to make your voice do what you want it to do.
Yeah, he's really good. And sad I don't know his name, so I can't give him any credit. But
I know. Should I look him up right now?
you can try. I feel like I've tried.
Is it hard to find? Hotel Apache.
Or maybe I'm just bad at looking. So
Singer. I mean, did you type that in? Because we got Instagram. That's the only thing that popped up. If that doesn't have a tag on it, then we are out of
listen,
luck.
the band
we're out of
members'
luck.
names are Jared, Steven, and Ryan from their bio. There's a picture in the bio that says so. How active are they? Were they still active?
They posted, no, March of 2021 was the last post.
Okay. Well, Hope they come
5,000
back.
followers for Instagram ain't too bad for a local band, though.
Yeah. I've been putting in my work, giving them streams.
You better.
And if I ever saw them playing live, I'd go see them. But yeah. Just to close out the EP, I'm obviously a big fan. I kind of want to talk about more EPs because they're kind of fun, bite-sized records, and I feel like there's less filler, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
We've listened to countless records where it's like, this could have been an EP. You could have just cut out about half of it. You could have just given us 5 really good songs. Yeah. You know what? I am like all on board on quality over quantity here when it comes to music. So and we kind of vouch for that a lot. That's why we talk so much about the mid-album lull. And
yeah.
I like the album format, so I'm not saying don't do albums anymore. I guess save the album for when it's all that good, I guess. But I know easier said than done. But
yeah, I'm starting to think maybe more artists should master the EP before they let themselves release a full album with half songs that no one cares about.
Yeah, but this is a great EP, and I don't know if we'll talk about Hotel Apache again since they don't have any other long form stuff, but maybe we'll talk about some singles at some point. But
we're gonna manifest them back to life.
Hopefully, with our 5 views. So,
bro, reach out to them. We had an interview with a band that had close to the same. Yeah, when we interviewed Alt, they had like 30,000 on Spotify, but that's not that big of a leap to 80,000.
No. But
no, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. If you like a lot of the bands that I like, so then you'll like this, because this is like one of the best encapsulations of my style. I think if I was a better musician, this is the kind of music I'd make, to be honest. But these guys are really talented. I can't do that. So I'm just impressed at this, because they're just kind of, I don't know anything about them, so just have to assume they're regular guys just making this good of music. Pretty impressive.
Could be. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I thought that it was an impressive EP. It didn't even like when we talked about like Dare Me, when I said that like it wasn't my favorite, it wasn't a bad song. It was a good song.
Oh yeah,
and I thought all the songs were good, and they have a consistent tone, a very good relaxing upbeat vibe, even when the lyrics don't match that, which I think goes a long way.
Yeah, but thanks for checking out. Look forward to talking next week. Say We Can Fly, I think.
Yep, Say We Can Fly. Look out for our Hotel Apache interview coming up, because we're gonna manifest that.
Yeah.
That's half a joke, but also look for it. But we'll see you next week with some Say We Can Fly.